Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Linda. I'm Linda. You know I love a good conversation, so let's have one.
Princeton James is a writer, director, producer, and actor who has several credits, including the award-winning plays such as The Royal Family, Full Course Love, A Mother's Love, The Principal's List, A Soulful Murder Mystery Dinner Theater Experience, and more. A native of Coldwater, Mississippi, Princeton has always had a reverence for performing arts. Appearing in his first commercial at the age of 10, he was intrigued by the creative process. Following a more traditional educational path, Princeton graduated with a bachelor's degree in accounting from the University of Mississippi. Although Princeton had career success in the corporate world, he continued to be drawn to his creative aptitude and eventually moved into stage performance. As an actor, James has performed in several stage plays, and he is featured in the Netflix film Uncorked, directed and written by Insecure's Prentice Penny. He has also been featured in a pilot for BET and made his network debut as a co-star on NBC's Bluff City Law. James founded the Princeton James Project, which birthed the Arts Enrichment Camp, using the performing arts as a catalyst to develop life skills within the youth of underserved communities. The project impacted well over 300 students in the first year of 2018. Princeton aims to engage audiences with inspirational productions that focus on family, love, passion, and faith.
Conversations with Linda. Welcome Princeton James to our show. Welcome, Princeton.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all both for having me. I appreciate it.
Listen, well, you said us both. I got my compadre with me, Courtney. Y'all know Courtney.
Yes.
He's my compadre, my co-host. He comes in whenever he wants to, whenever he wants to get in on the conversation. But it's good to see you, Courtney. And I know you're going to be helping me with this discussion.
Yes.
Because Courtney knows Princeton and I know Princeton as well. Courtney knows him better than I do. But I know our chit-chatters, that's what we call our audience. They don't know you. So would you just tell us a little bit about yourself or tell them a little bit about you?
Yeah, so one, I'm super excited to be here. I'm a huge fan of both of y'all's. And
we love you.
I love y'all too. And I'm Princeton James. I own a production company, Princeton James Productions. And I'm also the executive director of The Cooler, which is a workforce development piece for anyone that want to get into film and television.
Wow, wait a minute, you're going too fast. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You own a production company.
Yes.
Like in Tyler Perry.
Oh, Lord, I love Tyler Perry.
Because I think you're going to be the Memphis Tyler Perry.
That's exactly what I call him.
He does. He says it all the time.
Yeah, and you are people probably don't even know.
Yeah,
and you're doing major things too. We're going to talk about those things as well. But then you have The Cooler.
Yeah, The Cooler is basically a program we do for workforce development for individuals that are interested in getting into the film and television and independent contemporary theater space.
Okay.
So because it's so many opportunities to be in the workforce and so many opportunities to make money. So we just want to help build that creative economy with individuals who are interested and build an infrastructure for kids that want, especially in underserved communities, that want to get into that business to help them get to the bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that is so cool in Memphis, because oftentimes we think you got to go to LA, New York or Atlanta.
Yes.
But I recently read an article that talked about the film industry is moving into other cities.
Yes, it is.
Southern states. So right here in Memphis,
absolutely,
you got an opportunity. I love it.
And that's what I like about Princeton. He has identified the local talent here, and he has helped develop them. And so, which is where your production company comes from.
Yeah, right? You're right.
But The Cooler is, so what's the difference between the production company and The Cooler?
Oh, thank you for asking this. So the production company, we have three different facets. So we do theater, film, and we do outreach. So an outreach is our cooler portion. So it's just anything we can do to pour back into it. We do the camps. We've done camps for New Life. You know,
that's right.
So the camps,
and it was awesome. Too.
Oh yeah,
I remember that. I remember that
packed house. It was so great. The camps, and we do mixers every month. We do workforce development. We invite industry level professionals to come into the city to teach our people about how to navigate the industry. Because it's one thing to have. We didn't want to engage people in competing when there is abundance of opportunities.
Sure.
How about we bring people here to train us on how to navigate and how to get into the industry, and then
that is amazing.
And he's been really modest.
Right here in Memphis.
So can you tell us the types of people that you've invited to the cooler?
Okay. We had 2 weeks ago. Well, no, last weekend we had Raven Drummer from Tyler Perry Studios.
Really?
She's a casting director, so she saw a lot of actors here.
Wow.
And,
the casting director.
Right.
For Tyler Perry
so that
Studios.
opened up opportunity within opportunity.
Opportunity.
Last year she came and saw a lot of talent here, and over like 20-something people got auditions. And
really,
somebody actually went and shot a show with Tyler last season.
What?
So
Absolutely.
They did from the cooler. Yeah, it's crazy. It was a blessing.
Amazing.
And before Raven came, we had Taraji P. Henson's acting coach, and he also coaches.
Wait a minute, her acting coach,
Jamal McNeil. He's incredible.
Wow.
He's working on BMF now, but he also worked on like a lot of stuff. He worked on Octavia with the help, and Taraji with Hidden Figures and all that. So he came to Memphis and saw talent and did an acting workshop. And we actually had.
Wait a minute, I'm like Courtney now. You're being way too modest.
I'm telling you,
it's all God though. It's so grateful. Like I'm so grateful to God, because even like navigating those relationships, it's nothing I could have done on my own. It's probably like how y'all's careers navigate. Y'all find yourself in situations you like. This can't be nobody but God,
Absolutely. And I talked on last Sunday about favor, and I do believe that this is favor that God has given you. Because it's one thing to meet people, it's another thing to have influence of such where they come to where you are and bring their skill and talent to where you are.
And
it's not a waste of their time.
Boom. We wanted them to be impacted, the community to be impacted by what we did. And all of them were our great guests. And one guest I thought was going to take a little bit longer to get was Mark Swinton. So he's a vice president of Tyler Perry Studios. So literally, he's a vice president. He's next in command.
Wow.
Yep. So he's like Mark Swinton.
Goodness. Okay, I'm starstruck. Princeton, I'm now starstruck with
Mark
Princeton.
And Jamal and Raven and all of them. But I was super grateful that he came, and he's a man of faith, and he talked about his journey, and he talked about one of the reasons why he came is because when I called him, he said that I said to him, like, some people here don't believe that they can make it into the industry. Wow. And had I said that they can't, he would have called it out and be like, yes, they can, they're not doing the work. But sometimes if you're in a certain environment, your belief system will be, absolutely. I think I can't do it. And then another thing he said, I didn't ask him for anything. I asked him for stuff for some other people. He said that spoke to him too. So he had to, he came. He came and we tried to lay it out for him. We had to turn around like over 100 people to the RSVP just because of the capacity. And he told me like on a Tuesday, he said, I could be there next Saturday. So can we make that happen? And I was like, yeah, we're going to make it happen. So he called everybody we could. Yeah.
And you made it happen for other people. That's so significant.
God is so kind.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so let's talk about how you got here.
Okay.
Because you didn't start out in acting and all that. You were in corporate America.
Yeah, I got my degree in accounting. Yeah. In accounting.
Can you
can't do nobody's taxes.
Right.
Can't do my own taxes.
Really? Oh my goodness.
No, sir.
But you went up and you were a manager or a regional something for Sherwin Williams.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
in the finance department.
How
I was accepting deals.
How did you make this transition? When did you know, I'm in the wrong field?
Oh yeah. So I always wanted to act. I think one of the shows, I don't know if y'all remember, y'all may be too young to know about this, but it's a show called Zoom. That
Yes,
came out.
come on and Zoom.
Yes.
Come on
Yes.
and Zoom. Come on and
Yes.
Zoom.
Okay.
You
Right?
know that.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, of
Why you
course.
didn't sing with me?
Right.
Because I remember Zoom was big. It was a little different. My version may be a little older.
It
than
was
yours.
a original version of Zoom.
It was the one that was rusted. The Zoom wasn't polished,
Yeah.
right? He was
that's
like
right.
It was a little faster than what you were doing.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I
come on.
remember. But that's the
Yeah.
show. That's one of the shows in the Cosby Show and like Family Matters and all those shows made me want to act. So I knew in 8 I wanted to be an actor. So I went to school the next day, and when the teacher was, I guess it was career day or whatever, she was like, "What everybody want to be?" I said, "I want to be an actor." She said, "Baby, you're gonna have to be realistic. Now, what you want to be? Where you grow up?" And she was like, "You gonna be an accountant?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm be an accountant." She said, "Because you're good at math." And I said, "Yes, ma'am, because I'm good at math." You know?
Oh,
And she was
wow.
like, from then on, I was like, I knew in my heart I wanted to be an actor, but I knew in my mind I would like realistically I was going to be an accountant.
Realistic.
Wow.
Yep. So from 8, that was what I wanted to do. So like I went to school, got my degree in accounting, and when I was about 24 or 25, I was like, man, I gotta at least try it.
Mhm.
It's like my heart wouldn't let me stop. In the first acting class, I Googled. That's how I started. I Googled acting classes in Memphis. I didn't have anybody to tell me where to go. I Googled it and I went to the acting class the first day, and I turned around and went back to my apartment because I was so nervous. I was like, I'm starting too late. I ain't gonna be good. And I was insecure. So I went to Sonic and went back home.
Oh.
I went by
You
Sonic
left
first,
and
yeah,
went back home.
after I went to Sonic.
But you went back the next day.
The next week, I went back
Okay.
and I went in there and I fell in love. As soon as I hit the stage, as soon as I put the script in my hand, I fell in love. And I was like, this is what I want to do.
Wow.
So I went, hit the ground running in Memphis, went one whole year because I'm pretty like aggressive when I'm chasing something. You know what I'm saying? So hit the ground running, moved to Atlanta. Well, went to an event where Raven Drummer was on a panel. This is like my friend now, but back then I didn't know her. She was just like this amazing casting director. Yeah. So she said, hey, I know some people want to move to Atlanta. If you want to move, go, but you're going to have to give it a date or you'll never do it. So I said, okay, cool.
Gotta give it a date.
Got
Gotta give it a date.
You know? So I said, all right, cool. It was September 2013. And I said, God, I want to move by August of 2014. But if you do it sooner, okay. I applied for a job like 2 weeks later, got an interview for the job and I got the job and they was like, you got to be in Atlanta in 2 weeks. So I'm from Coldwater, Mississippi. Make a long story short, anyway, I had never been that far away from home. When I told my folks, you would have thought I was going to Japan off a 3-month deployment with no phone. They had a party. It was like 300 people, and I was like, Mama, I'm going to Atlanta. I'll be back next weekend.
Well, they from Coldwater.
45-minute flight.
45 minutes, 5-hour drive. So did that, went to Atlanta, and then got like 3 years in Atlanta. I was acting and working in corporate America.
Okay, but wait a minute. So with telling your family, did they too feel like you're a teacher, that you weren't being realistic?
So the crazy thing about it is my family has always been supportive, verbally with the mind, and their mind don't lose their good job. Man.
Right.
1K, but I was like, son, you can do whatever you want to do. Go and do it. My mom was kind of like, you gotta move to do it. But my dad was like, go, just be careful, make good decisions. So they was for it, but they weren't really for that move. But how my sister, my sister cried, my big mama cried, Autumn cried, my dad was like, whatever.
You got a big mama.
Oh,
that's
so
she's a bona fide big mama.
Like real deal. The big mama. You hear me? And after I finally told them, but a friend told me, she said, hey, will you tell them that you're trying to move far. Like tell them you think about going to LA. And then when you bring it back to Atlanta, they're gonna take it a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was strategy.
Yeah, it is,
smart.
Smart. Didn't work. Still was about to shut the place down.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Showed out. Yeah. Had a cake. The pastor spoke.
The pastor spoke? No.
They had it at a gym.
You said the mayor?
Yeah. But you can call, one of the aldermans, because my folks didn't really mess with that man like that.
and so not at home, they were at the gym.
Oh, they had to go to the gym. I said, hey, I want to have a dinner, a barbecue, anything like that, small. But they was like, no, we got it. So
okay, was this because you were going into acting or because you were just moving to Atlanta?
They act like I was
going to a big city.
Floyd.
I'm talking about Coldwater now.
Coldwater, you hear me? Coldwater.
That is so funny.
And I love
Have you been to Coldwater?
Maybe through there or something.
You gotta been. That's Pastor Strong's church in Coldwater.
Oh yeah.
Over there. Yeah. So that
you may have gone today. You just missed it.
Because it's very, very small. But the thing, I was like so happy because I love my family and they didn't have to do that. So I was just super grateful.
And that just says how special you are to them that they would want to do that. You know, because
so
some folk leave family and you like, okay,
you gone by
let us know how it turns out. So now you've started your own production company.
Yes.
You have staff, employees, you have. So what does that encompass? Staff actors or staff and then actresses, actors?
Yeah. They do they act, some of them act and sing. Some of them act and sing and do costumes. You know what I'm saying?
You got all of that.
But we have a staff of 5 of us that do the everyday things I do. We have a marketing, communications, and outreach person. Then we have a director of programs that handles the cooler. We have a director of operations that handle all the normal operations. Then I'm the CEO, and then I have a COO who's also like a mentor to me, and he kind of helps me think through the strategy and helps me execute and delegate. So that's what we have so far.
And Courtney, one of the things you were telling me about is that what you don't tolerate is entitlement in your corporation, in your company.
No.
Talk about that a little bit.
None of it is ours.
Okay.
We're here on borrowed time. We're not even each other's. So how can we be entitled to something that don't belong to us? Our gifts are not ours. Our experience are not ours. Literally I tell my cast, hey, this may be somebody's first play or their last. Give it your all. So it don't matter if we perform into 2,000 or 2 in a 400 seat theater. Literally, if the one person's life could be changed and we profited, we sold out because we sold out and giving our gifts. You know what I'm saying?
And then this opportunity. So some people approach opportunities like, I deserve this.
I'm supposed to be here. You owe me something. So when they do that, I don't meet them with that energy. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. This is not the place for it because that's not our overall goal. So in the past, I didn't create boundaries, and I think I had more opportunities to grow there. So I would allow those people to be around because I loved them or whatever, or I just thought that it would change, and I would ask God to do the separating. It'll be way harder, but He'll do it. He'll do it for me. So I just can't tolerate that just because it will spoil what our overall goal is, and it'll also spoil what we're here to do.
So do they get that speech when they come in, or do they have to figure that out?
Oh, they get it when they come. As soon as I notice it, they'll get it in a nice way though. They say when I go off, I've only went off on my cast maybe 3 times, and I talk to them like I'm talking to you, but I'm very, very stern, and we just call out the truth because I don't believe in yelling at them. I just don't think they deserve that. But so I just tell them up front, hey, this is this, but I present a standard too. So if they're late, hey, could you let me know what I can provide for you to be on time? Is there misunderstanding? Can we change the times? Whatever, because I don't want to get in the way of your life or your priorities. But then again, if we see that there's not a change, I have to make a change.
I love that. Okay, I don't want to get in the way of your priorities, your life. Okay, I'm gonna use that.
That's great. Let's switch this around.
Right, that's very diplomatic.
He has the nicest no. And the nicest, I'm not gonna tolerate it. Oh my gosh, this young man right here.
Okay,
he's crazy.
He'll tell somebody no, and they'll be on the way out saying, "Yes, this is great." And then halfway to the car, they
realize
what just happened?
Right.
Did I get fired?
That I just got terminated.
But I also believe if we hold people to a standard as a leader, one, to back it up, if you can't lead well unless you serve well.
Absolutely.
So you have to put yourself. And leaders are ultimate servers. So we're literally serving the people, serving the cast. And 2, you don't fire people, they fire themselves.
They fire themselves.
Adhere to a standard.
They fire themselves.
You did it.
Right.
So in order for us to push forward, and I ask people up front, are you committed to the goal of us doing this production or us getting this across to our patrons? Yes. So if any of us are in the way of that goal, we need to separate because you committed to that goal.
If anybody is in the way of the goal,
you can separate. Yeah. And it's okay. And we can still be cool. We can still be cordial, but we just can't get in the way of that goal if we all committed to it. Even me, if I don't hold you accountable, I'm in the way.
Right.
So you need to go. And I tell them, if I'm not starting on time, and this is a reoccurring thing, you don't need to be in my show. because I'm not
you.
respecting you. You need to have more respect for yourself and lead.
Wow. That's good. Great leadership principles.
Yeah.
And some of which
I had to grow there because at first it was.
Yeah, I want to touch on those. I know we've got to go to commercial break, but I really want to come back to that because you've said some things that I think are very significant for leadership and wanting to know how that plays itself out with what I call this generation. Right? Okay. Yeah. All right. This is a fascinating conversation with Princeton James. And of course, I got my compadre here, Courtney Richardson. Yeah, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. What's wrong, Chloe?
Well, Dr. Linda, it's getting there summertime, and I won't be able to see any of my friends for a long time.
I understand, but I got the thing just for you, Chloe. It's called Girl Boss. June 27th to July 1st, I'll be offering a camp to make you a girl boss.
Oh, tell me more.
Listen, we're going to have all kinds of classes, beginning with you having a dream, power to dream for girls just like you. And then we're going to have classes on sisterly love and self-love. We're going to teach you charm and etiquette. We're going to have a paint party. And then guess what? We're going to have a pool party at my house.
Oh, this is getting good.
I'm telling you, it is going to be fabulous, girl. I want you to tell your mom to go to LindaWillisEmpowers.org to get you registered. Now, the cost of it is $150, but that covers everything, food and all the activities. Don't forget, tell your mom, LindaWillisEmpowers.org. And guess what? You can invite your friends too. You know, your friends outside of New Life. Just tell them to go to LindaWillisEmpowers.org. Now, Chloe, they got to hurry up and register because space is limited. All right, girl.
Okay, well, I can't wait for this.
And guess what? I can't wait to make you a girl boss. Welcome back to Conversations with Linda. I told you I'm here with Princeton James, and I got my compadre, my co-host here with me, Courtney Richardson. I want to just jump back into, for a moment, when you were leaving corporate America and, you know, moving into this whole acting film, all of that. I want you to give the end of that story.
Okay, cool. So when I was in corporate America, I was very, very happy at one time, but I started to hear God say, hey, step out and go do a play. Okay. And I told God, nah. I told him, like, serious as day. I said, God, I don't know. I hope this is my ego talking because I don't want to do this. I ain't trying to manage no people. I don't have to do no play. But he was like, hey, you gonna go do this play. So started to get bullied on my job, started to like get stressed out. Like my 12-month lease, it was like ended up being like a 6-month lease. They said, hey, you're gonna have to be out by this time. It just started, like, and I asked
God started burning the bridges.
Everything to get me up out of there. And then I went to church one Sunday, and the preacher preached about operating your gift. And he said, people will suffer if you don't operate in your gift. So on that, I left my job that Tuesday, and I packed up and I booked the building without a script, without a cast, without no money saved, nothing. He said, book the building. I booked Buckman. And I said, all right, what now? And he was like, all right, Stu. So I called these people that you know don't do no auditions. This is what the play is going to be about. And I wrote the play in 2 days. And we rehearsed it. It was the most terrifying summer of my life. Terrifying, Courtney. You know about this. So I rehearsed the play for 4 weeks. We put it on the stage and we sold out that weekend. And even after that, I was like, man, they just coming because they love you. Know how people support you because they love you, and you can get on the stage and scream for 3 minutes and they're gonna come, you know. But and then they called for an encore show, and I was like, wait a minute, there was some strangers at this show, and they thought it was good. And I was like, okay, cool. So then we started doing over and over. And then I started doing dinner theaters and then doing the camps, and then that led to more stuff. And I had my stuff in storage in Atlanta because I was planning on moving into another apartment. That's what I thought, even though God told me that I was gonna be able to come back.
So, you know, I can't, and you can jump in here when you want to, I can't get past this moment because I know someone is thinking about this, maybe not in acting or any of that, but just this area of faith and hearing God. Because you said something key. You said I had to, at first I was thinking maybe it's just my ego. So for that person who's saying, well, how do you know? How do you know it's God?
I think it's God because it gives some type of like peace over you. Now you're still gonna be scared,
right?
But he never said that you wouldn't be scared. He just said to trust him. And I think it's just like it was just sort of a peace around me, and things just started to align. You know what I mean? After you step out, after you step out,
you didn't see that until you stepped out.
I didn't know how it was going to happen. I think that's a good indicator too, because it's things that you can't do on your own.
Yeah.
Because if you think you can do it on your own, it's okay. And then
I agree.
What good would faith be if we knew how it's the end?
Well, it's not
happen?
faith.
It's not.
Faith is not required for something that you know how it's going to
do.
It's not required.
So that's how because it was just everything aligned. And like 70% of my first cast, they had never acted on stage before. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so now that show, which was the Royal Family,
yes,
you have performed that show how many times now?
It was like 10. We did that 10 times in like 6 months or whatever. And then we took it to Atlanta, took it to like Senatobia, Mississippi, took it to like Tupelo.
Really?
It was like my first year.
Your college,
University college to do it. Oxford sure did. I was the youngest
Amazing.
playwright to ever do something on the campus. And it won some awards. And then the theater, we performed it like 40 times in 1 year. And now we're probably up to like, we probably performed over like 450 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
In like 5.5 years.
Really?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And been through ups and downs. You hear me?
Well, I mean, there's always a journey.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you about, because I just started like committing to sharing more of the journey. And I felt God telling me that too. And I also share not only the highs but the lows. So I will tell you, but there was a time I was gonna quit in 2017. Pastor Linda, I was gonna pack that show up.
Tell us why. Tell us more. Tell us why.
People. That was the guy.
It's
just got
it's
tough.
always people.
Yes, it was just like, and you know what? The biggest problem was me.
Okay.
I had not created boundaries. I had not created a system.
Okay, I gotta put my feet up in the chair. I'm wearing my little low heels, and so this is just so good.
I had not,
because I love the fact that you can acknowledge it was you.
Oh, it was me.
Okay, talk about it.
I was the biggest one. I had not created. I don't think I was emotionally mature to know stuff. I had not acknowledged where my opportunities of growth were going to be, and I was projecting that energy.
Yeah.
And even though they had that, I needed to have a different standard for my leadership. So, because I can't control what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I need to set a standard so it won't be able to exist. So the title can't exist.
Okay, so we got to slow this down. You had not identified where your opportunities for growth were.
And I was not emotionally mature.
And you were not. I think everybody ought to take a class in emotional intelligence. That's the first thing. Okay, I'm be on my soapbox for a minute. But I think everybody needs to take, because you learn so much about yourself.
Yes.
You learn what questions to ask.
Yes.
About yourself. You learn what to identify.
Yes.
IQ will only get you so far.
Yes.
EQ will sabotage everything that your IQ, your emotional quotient.
That's good.
EQ will sabotage everything that your IQ builds up. I'm telling you.
Put that somewhere. Somebody tweet that.
So
that's good, ain't it?
EQ will sabotage
everything your IQ is.
And it did. It did.
So what did that look like?
It looked like I was so drained. I put value into things that didn't matter. I didn't like the fact that people were entitled, but I don't think I had the courage at that moment to call it out and to hold people accountable, because I felt as though me holding them accountable would have changed how they saw me. It come down to people pleasing. You know what I mean? And we have to acknowledge it in order to,
and all of its forms. Because I just had this revelation today. I'm serious. Like they say, here's my hand to God. Because I don't consider myself a people pleaser anymore. And I'm, all of those, but I found a moment when I said, what in the world are you doing?
Yes. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? And because people pleasing can come out it can manifest itself in so many ways. It's okay. So go on. I'm sorry.
No, that's so true.
And so
I thought it was that.
For you, it was not setting boundaries.
It was not setting boundaries, not doing the work that I needed to do with myself. Because the best people in business, they work on themselves more than they work on their business. And I learned that in reading a book. I had not done that work. I had not done that work on me. So I needed to do that work on myself, go and put up the biggest mirror on the wall. And write on that. You know
and
what I
so
mean?
and so we've celebrated up to this point about how, you know, we call you Tyler Perry's Memphis of Tyler Perry. You've done you have all these connections. We're seeing in the media now, a lot of celebrities are actually taking their own lives.
A lot.
And they're entertainers. They entertain everybody else, but their own
they're not doing the work.
They're not doing the work. And the internal work. You talked about you doing the work. Can you maybe talk a little bit more about that journey? Because you said you put a mirror up. Is that therapy? Is that a preacher? Is that prayer? What is that? What does that work look like?
You know what? I think it's all the things. It's like it like starts with God and it ends with God. So it starts with prayer, it ends with that. But it also, prayer without work is dead. So I have a mentor. Then I also have a mentee. So I think people need both. Like you have both. Because you got one that's going to hold you accountable and one you need to hold accountable. So you're able to learn and teach, and teach.
Okay, so did the mentor tell you, Princeton, you got some areas of growth that need to take place? Or were you able to call it out?
I think I would be able to talk to him about it. Yes. So yes, that was that. But it's not until I made the decision to acknowledge those areas of growth and realize the people that did me wrong could have possibly been because I didn't create boundaries. That was that. And then, so that was a thing. I got a therapist and she started to call out things to me that are very serious and that knocked me on my back. I was like,
wow.
What? That's not me. And she was like, yes, it is. You're afraid. You have control issues. That's what that is. Like, because I would shrink. I remember I was on a Zoom one time, and then when I came in and started to speak, it was a filmmaking Zoom. So people was like, hey, Prince, I love whatever. And I just felt myself doing this because and the reason why is because I was worried about that other people on the Zoom was going to think I thought I was somebody because they were speaking to me. My therapist was like, you got control issues. You can't control how they think about you. You can't control if people loves you or they're speaking to you. You need to relinquish control over that. And humble don't mean small.
Oh, I love that. Humble does not mean small. I love that. Y'all write that down too. Write that down.
So I started to do that work and then just started to like stand up for what's right. You know what I'm saying? Stand up and advocating for yourself and what that looks like. So sometimes advocating for yourself looks like if somebody called me and be like, hey, we finna go out here and I know I don't feel like I used to go just to make them happy or just for their birthday. Advocating for myself says like, no, I'm not able to go. And not explaining it. I ain't gotta give you no reason.
No explanation. I love it.
Why do you have to explain it? So a lot of those things like ravel together and it just helped. It is a journey, like committing to that journey of growth, not the destination. Committing to like, you know what, I got it wrong today. And every day I wake up, and I know it sounds bad, but I'm not completely making it about alcohol. But I say I want to give myself a shot of grace and chase it with accountability.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
A shot of grace and chase it with accountability.
My mentor told me that years ago. I was getting my master's, and he got a piece of paper, wrote on this paper. He said, "I want to give you something." He said, "And when you're able to receive it, keep it. If not, leave it on the table." And he slid the piece of paper, he wrote on it, and slid the piece of paper on it over there to me, and I opened it up, and it said grace. And in that moment, I was not able to keep it. I had to leave it on the table.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was that hard on myself. I could give everybody else grace, but I couldn't give myself grace.
Wow.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that we have to, this new book I'm reading called Dare to Lead. And it's about
Isn't that
Renee
good?
Brown.
Yes.
Thank
She's
y'all.
one of my favorites.
She's like the truth. So she talks about, you already read it. Y'all already read it. So you talked about, you just talk to yourself how you speak to yourself the way you speak to the people you love.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
So when I started to do that, I was like, okay, cool. Because you do give your friends grace and give
self-compassion.
That part.
Yeah.
And that really helped me to navigate. And the day I was going to quit, we had a show. And I was like, this is going to be my last show. It's going to be next weekend. I ain't tell nobody. Then I received a phone call from one of my friends working at Tyler Perry Studio, and they were like, "Hey, we all finna go to the rap party Tyler doing. We know how you feel about it. That's all. Would you be a +1?" And I was like, "I can't go. It's the same night." He said, "I would say no. Hey, bro, I'm gonna call you back." And I talked to my cast, and they was like, "We ain't doing this show. We know how you feel about Tyler, so go. We're not doing the show. So even if you try to do it, you can't do it." So I went. Tyler talked. It was like a rap party, and he spoke that night so heavily. It was like Fantasia performed, like Stephanie Mills performed, Tiffany Campbell performed.
Wait a minute, do you hear him? I'm sweating because I'm calling out all these names.
But this, I'm just setting the stakes. Like, so he got on that stage and he was like, and everybody that got up there said something that he had done for them privately. So Fantasia said was like, she talked about like how he was there for her in a very private time and didn't say anything about it. And everybody was just talking about it. And you could tell out of his reaction that he had nothing to do with them talking about it. So when he got up there, he was like, listen, I'm here to inspire. He said, I know it's somebody here. You can either be where I am or farther, but you probably, it's very, very hard and you probably want to give up at the moment. And Miss Pastor,
that was the preacher talking to you.
I promise you.
That was God on your street.
Like 6 times. And if you know me, my cast know that I'm not a crying person. Like even my best friend since 3rd grade, he's a dope educator. He's amazing. I asked him one day, I said, "Dog, how many times have you seen me cry? Because I'm sure you saw me cry a lot." He was like, I don't know, like once since 3rd grade, because I'm not that type. But I cried like 6 times that night because I knew he was speaking. Out of like the 1,000 people that was in, or 600, whatever's in the room, I knew he was speaking directly to me, and I knew I could not stop because he said, "You cannot stop." He said, "I know a lot of y'all got dreams. You could be right where I am at this moment, but you
God on your
stop."
street. That was God.
And I was literally about to quit in 7 days. It was about to be tied up, dissolve the company.
Wow.
I'm going back to corporate. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But it's just God, right when you get to your breaking point, and I just sucked it up, and I was like, okay.
But I think we have to have those breaking point moments.
You have to.
Because therein is the revelation that without God, we wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, that was God on your street.
Yeah.
You know, so I think those breaking point moments are good for us, you know, because we have to feel our vulnerability. We have to feel how fragile we are because it makes for great testimonies. I mean, it makes for, you know, this is.
And people are healed by that.
Yes.
We have to share it. I used to be afraid to like share the low points because I was like, I didn't want to discourage people, but actually they are encouraged.
Yeah, because they're looking at you saying, like you know, hearing him, I'm sure, but looking at you saying, wow, he can relate, or he's felt this, you know. So it does give them hope. It really, really does. Yes. Go ahead.
So you keep talking about like your team. You talk about your cast, and you talk about how some people have been entitled. How do you know when somebody's good for your team? Or not?
I think you just like, one, you have to be able to trust people. And trust, I feel as I have, like me and my friends talked about this. We have 3 components in trust. You have to be reliable, dependable, and intimate. So like reliable, you have to, when you say you're gonna show up.
Yeah.
Reliable, credible, and intimate. So reliable, you got to be able to be there when you say you're gonna be there. Credible, you got to be able to do what you say. If you can sing, you need to be able to sing.
Right.
And then intimate, that means you care about the work. You have some type of care, because you can be reliable and credible, but if you don't care, you're not gonna do a good job. That you have to be able to trust them, and then operate at a high level of integrity. That's our principles in the company.
Yeah.
Like before your gifts, before if you're on time, before anything, we need to know that you're gonna do the right thing when we're not around.
Yeah.
And if you make a mistake, say it.
Right.
Own it. I'm not gonna get mad. We're gonna try to figure out solutions for it. So like integrity is a thing. And of course, energy, you can tell God will give you discernment around some people that haven't done the self-work to the level that we need to collaborate. Yes. Like you can be in an office by yourself and that's okay, but to collaborate, because theater, production, film, all that's a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
We spend 16-hour days with people and you rehearse for 3 months. And you know, so I think that's what we look for. And people that respect people, don't be disrespecting nobody.
Yeah.
Because my folks nice and I talk to them like this, but they good too. You know?
So I gotta ask you this. How do you get all of that out of, I don't know if most of the people that work with you are your age, older or younger. How do you get
Both.
out of that? How do you get all of that out of this culture that we've created? A culture of entitlement, a culture of emotional immaturity, where it is acceptable to be emotionally immature. You know, I think we went from
it is, and people still attack me. I have people that we know that in my inbox sent me this long entitled message about like, I see you working with, they called out one of the actors, the singers that I'm working with now, and I know you told me you was gonna work with me, and I was just like, it's so entitled, like terrible. But I tried to send her, well, I did send her, now it could have went left. It did not, you know. But I tried to send her a message like, listen, I hear what you like. First of all, I said that when you approach someone you're trying to work with, this is not the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And this person has nothing to do with it. And they're great just like you are. So in the future, when you come to someone, make sure that you come in a place saying that you want to work with them, because no one is going to want to work with someone that this entitled.
Right.
So I pray for you and I pray for your future, because you're going to be successful with it without me, but you're going to be the only one that's going to stop it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know? So,
I love that.
you know,
there's again his diplomatic way of putting that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be successful with or without me, probably without me.
But it's your
Right.
But it's your
Your
decision.
decision. Like, you're going to create your own ceiling with entitlement.
Yeah.
But it's just and then working with people that I'm younger than, like, you know, sometimes that could be a difference. And like people that may have like worked on huge sets, and I've directed some people that are way more, you know what I'm saying, experienced. And
what do you say to yourself? What's your self-talk when you're working with someone that has more experience? Or
I say that I tell myself, hey, be willing to learn. Also teach and stand in your ground, because God didn't just throw you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're there for a reason, you're in that position for a reason, but be there to learn. And I was in that position last year. I directed a feature for the first time, feature film. And it was a budget, like a bigger budget than I'm accustomed to handling when I produced and directed, because it was like, you know, it was 3, 4, it don't matter. But when I was working with those people, I said I wasn't gonna do the film at first, because I was like, I haven't done it. But my mentors say, no, there are people know way less than you that direct films. You know, you were in the rooms through every episode of Bluff City. You know what I'm saying? You were in the rooms, you know what the director's supposed to do. And hire people around you that know more than you.
that's it.
Hire people around you.
So
That's what I did. My AD knew more. He AD for Craig Brewer. My DP has done like Emmy Award winning stuff and done documentaries that have been like on major distribution platforms. And everybody around, they just knew more than me. So I just did that. And then listen and commit to ego deconstruction, because ego is gonna come up when somebody try you. You're gonna be like, wait, I know that, but he'd be like, hey, let me deconstruct my ego. What's best for the project?
Right.
And it's a daily thing.
It's a daily thing.
Yeah.
I was reading that we are all about building teams. You know, everybody's talking about building a team, but what you ought to be building is a mastermind, not a team. Because the mastermind, the mastermind is about people, as you said, who know things that you don't know. You know, you're bringing to yourself, they become your other mind. You know, we think we got to know everything, you know, and I'm sure there are things in just in the production that even if you know them, it's not your area of passion.
It's not yet. And
so bringing people on versus a team, it says team is all about collaboration. In that, and what I mean by collaboration in the sense of team, the team is all about, I'm doing what you've asked me to do. But when you start talking about masterminding, you're talking about people who have passion for the goal, passion for the process. And so they're using their creativity, their ingenuity. They're bringing all of that versus you just telling them, and then they're just kind of helping you get there.
I love that.
So, I mean, you know, Okay, all right. We just building a mastermind. Isn't that wonderful? We just have one big mind.
In the back pocket.
One big mind. I love that. Okay. Listen, we have just forgotten all about taking a commercial, so I'm going to stop right here. Chit Chatters. This has been a great conversation thus far with Princeton James, and of course, Courtney is with me, and we'll be right back.
I'm Victoria Brown with Force Success Realty. I am an affiliated broker here in the city and surrounding areas. If you're looking for that perfect home, I am the key to your new home. Thinking about selling? Give me a call at 901-864-3990. If you're on the fence and don't know if you're able to buy, it's a perfect time to give me a call. I will help you out. I will connect you with those individuals that can help you get into a new home. I'm standing by. And again, my number is 901-864-3990. You can also reach me on the World Wide Web at www.victoriabrownrealestate.com. Look forward to speaking to you soon.
Welcome back to Conversations. Let me tell you, we are having a wonderful conversation with Princeton James. He is a wealth of wisdom. I know you've already heard that. And I just love the fact that he's transparent on top of that. So Princeton, listen, now we're just going to have some fun here.
Okay.
Just have some fun. Because, you're in this acting business. You're a celebrity now.
Oh, no.
What are you watching now? What do you like to watch on television?
Okay. So it's hard for me to just watch stuff to enjoy it because in the
You
business,
critique it?
yeah, and I love I'm always like, oh, that second act was great, or that character development, the protagonist. So you probably don't want to watch a movie with me, but I love watching. Right now, I'm watching Snowfall.
Okay, I heard that's good. I hadn't watched that one.
Yeah, This Is Us. I'm catching up on This Is Us.
I got to catch up on This Is Us.
I've stopped watching it.
Yeah,
like
emotionally,
seasons, it's a lot. It can be a lot.
It
Yeah.
can be.
Yeah, it's
really,
heavy.
you cried a lot on it,
I didn't cry a lot.
but you felt emotionally
But
attached to it.
Courtney is a different
Couldn't no cry like that.
being with television. He doesn't get into it like it's like and he'll let it go.
Yeah,
He won't let it take him
Don't
there.
give it
He
time
doesn't let
to
it
grow
take
in
him there.
Yeah.
Here's how I feel about it. It's enough drama in everyday life that I don't really need. I mean, at any given moment.
You're walking into TV shows.
No, this is Courtney. See, what it is they need to be saved. See, that's where he's
I'm
going.
like, I saw this coming, didn't you?
They need to be saved.
Yeah, that's where he's gonna go.
So that's what I'm watching a few of those shows, but I need to watch some more.
I haven't started watching Snowfall because I had gotten so caught up. I'm trying to think of the movie I was in. She was a female drug. She ended up being a part of the drug cartel. Oh God, can anybody tell me what? Queen of the South. Have you seen that?
Seen it.
Oh, that's good.
It's really
That's
good.
really good. Yeah, that's good. So that's why I hadn't gotten Snow. I
Is that
needed
a
to come
documentary
out
or
of
a
it.
movie?
It's a movie.
I think
Okay.
It's a series.
It's a series.
It's a
yeah.
series.
narrative, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Anything else? What about that movie? Okay, when
Now,
we
you
went
like
to LA. Oh, I love
I haven't
Bridgerton.
seen it.
You haven't seen Bridgerton?
It's good. I
Oh,
heard it's
Princeton.
And it's a movie now.
It
So
is
they
incredible. It
Really?
really,
turned into a movie.
For real?
it's a movie?
Did you go see the movie? Bridgerton movie?
No,
What
that
was
was
that?
Downton Abbey.
Oh,
I
Downton
love-
Abbey.
But same tones. They have the same
Well,
look like
yeah,
it's
no.
totally different.
because Bridgerton gives you almost a magical animated feel without being animated.
Got it.
You have to see it. They're all in these costumes.
Is that
Downton Abbey,
I think I watched Bridgerton. How many episodes of Bridgerton? 3 or 4? It's not
how many seasons? You talking that saying seasons?
Is it a lot of seasons?
We
It's
can't
not
talk
even long.
Can't talk
I'm trying to
that's
think about
Courtney. It's
like
on its second season.
second, yeah.
I watched every show in the first season.
Okay, but
Yeah, you know it's Shonda Rhimes.
Yeah.
So,
it
yeah.
is so
I
creative
didn't know
of her.
Is
It really is to take you back in time.
Hold on, wait a minute. Notice how he said Shonda. You see,
No.
you see,
No,
you see,
no,
you refer to her as
first
Shonda. They on
name.
first name basis. You see that, right?
I
Just
wish I
check
knew
that
her.
out.
You know Shonda Rhimes?
I do not. I wish I did. Shonda, I'm a huge fan. I would love to meet you. What am I? I'm a huge fan. I love to meet you.
So, but what was the movie? We went to LA and we went.
Insecure.
What do you think
I
about
love
Insecure? You love Insecure.
Every bit of it. Now,
Okay.
I
Now, see, I would love to sit down and watch Insecure with you
Yeah.
because
would
I
too.
want to hear you critique it.
Oh, I
Because
love
see,
it.
I critiqued Insecure when I
did?
watched the few episodes
So
I
why?
watched.
Tell me why you like it so much.
I think it was because it was the first time we got a representation of like
Got it.
Black millennials.
Got it.
You know, because when
She
it came
hit.
out,
She
that's what we. That's
Okay.
that's the only one we had when it. Because like, what was it like 2012, 13ish?
Yeah.
It was around-
Because it was on YouTube at first.
Oh,
Yeah.
we came out that long
She was
ago?
on YouTube, and then
That's
they picked
probably
her
what it was
up.
in
I didn't know
2020.
that.
Yeah, she
Now-
was awkward Black girl on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, so now what you would appreciate about Bridgerton
Mhm.
is when you said it's the first time we got representation as millennials. Bridgerton gives us this representation as royalty
Mm.
Oh, see that.
and
That's
being
beautiful.
ratchet royalty
Oh,
and
see,
shady
that's-
royalty. I love
that's-
it's creative writing at its best. To
Now
me.
I
It is
might
beautiful,
watch it.
right?
It is.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
I gotta
I'll watch it with that view now.
With
I'll
that
pick
view.
up.
That's what
I wanna watch
that's
it.
what draws me to it
I want to watch
is
it.
seeing Black people in royalty.
See, I
Yeah.
gotta watch that. I'm gonna put that on my list of things to watch. I love Insecure though. I think that it was beautiful.
I gotta go back to it then, because
Have you
maybe
seen
because
the
it was so
end?
no.
Yeah,
Maybe
You gotta
because
see
it
the
was
end.
so millennially focused
it was. Yeah,
that it was getting on my
right
nerves.
on.
It was like
It was exact. I mean,
Yeah.
it was getting on my
There are
nerves.
people- millennials talk about
Nothing.
what I'm saying. They say you Kelly and you are this. Like
They do.
'Cause they could
somebody
identify the
in-
character.
You can identify
Yeah, I get
people
it.
in real life just
Yeah.
like that. So I watched it because it was the thing to do, and I
Okay,
needed
I'm
to be able
gonna
to have a
commit. If you
conversation.
watch Bridgerton, I'll go back and watch it.
Perfect. And watch it all the way to the end. And they did a documentary at the very last
Wow.
episode that showed you like their reasoning and stuff. So the same guy that's a showrunner for Insecure, he wrote Uncorked, the one that shot here. He wrote and directed. that.
Wow.
So he
And
was
you were
showrunner
on
for-
that. Wait a minute. You were a star, a guest
I was.
star on one of the shows. Come on now.
Wow.
But yeah,
Am I
yeah,
right or
was
am
in
I
Uncorked.
right?
Yes. Yeah,
All
you're
right.
right.
Okay, wait a minute. I gotta ask Princeton some other questions.
Yeah.
What's your favorite overall movie?
Oh, I love basketball.
Here,
Love
look.
every bit of it.
Princeton,
Everything.
how old are you?
I'm 34. I'm about to be 35 in July though.
Okay.
July 28th.
Oh,
Leo's.
overall movie or Black
Oh.
movie?
Let me think of another movie. I have a few in my list that I love. I love Black movies though.
Okay,
Like
okay.
Soul Food. and
Oh,
This
now I
Christmas
love
and
that's
stuff.
my favorite overall Black
Really?
movie.
Soul
Soul
Food.
Food,
Soul Food is so good.
Waiting to Exhale.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are my
That's
two.
amazing. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I have reasons why. Like I don't think anybody has portrayed anybody else other than Jamie Foxx and Ray like Angela did Tina. So like
Right,
for
right.
reasons of acting, she
Mhm.
should have won. She should have won her Oscar on that.
Mhm.
She should have won.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
yeah.
then, but overall, like how they navigate the story, love and basketball, it just really
It is
makes
a-
you fight
it is.
for their love.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
And then
That's
the
true.
music and the score,
All of that,
everybody
all
was
of
in
that,
it.
all of
They
that.
had Alfred Woodard. in it.
Yeah,
They
you're
had,
right,
you know,
you're right.
Gabrielle Union.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. I'll give you
It's
that. I'll give you
beautiful.
that. I think I was going back a little further.
This one, Wait to Exhale, is a brilliant.
I thought it was
piece, too.
brilliant for it.
It's a
It
brilliant.
was the first time for us as African American women that we saw different shades of us.
Oh, that's so
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they usually typecast us in one.
Mhm.
You know, we only get one in a movie,
Mhm.
but to get all of those different personalities and struggles,
Yeah.
I could really appreciate that.
That's beautiful.
Now,
I think it's
wait a
something about seeing it. Oh, go
You,
ahead.
what about like The Godfather?
Oh, I do like. I like that. I do.
Is
love
that not just good writing?
Oh yeah, perfect. It's incredible writing.
Okay,
But why
'cause-
is this not translating over as your favorite though?
I think.
Is it because you're so committed to the Black narrative?
I
or?
think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I just love like seeing and hearing our stories.
yeah,
Like, and I love other stories as well.
but you didn't
like,
say
I'm
The
so
Color
tired.
Purple.
Oh, I love The Color Purple. I think The Color Purple was great. Me being from Mississippi is, it's not triggering. It's just like
Yeah, it is a little
Yeah.
triggering.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember when
the
it
help
came
was
out.
triggering. Yeah.
The help
Oh,
was
my
too.
God.
But I remember when The Color Purple came out, it was triggering for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Bishop and I were still dating. We weren't even married yet. And we
Yeah.
went to see it like after church.
I went to see Color Purple in the movie theater.
Mhm. That's how old I am. That's how old I am.
Oh, it was in the movie theater.
Yeah.
He is crazy.
Color
Color Purple
Yes.
was what came out in like 90s.
Yeah. No, 80s.
Really?
It came out in the 80s.
Show was
Like
was
88,
young.
86.
She was like young. That was like one of her first.
It was Oprah's first acting debut.
Oh yeah, but they acted down. in
Didn't
Color
they?
Purple.
For-
yeah, they acted
yes.
in the Wiz.
The I went to see the Wiz in the movie theater. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they laughing at me, you all. But I think that was what impressed me so about The Color Purple too. I really get caught up in writing. I love smart writing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Me too.
But I also had an appreciation for that being Oprah's first, because I was just an Oprah fan and I still am. But that was her acting debut. And she hit, she nailed it for it to be her first one. And then I loved Whoopi and how she got that character in such a way that you didn't see Whoopi anymore. I mean, really. So yeah, all that. But that. I'm still going back to The Godfather because
Godfather it's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. What about
representation?
I got you. Are you a Quentin Tarantino fan?
Yes, I love it. Like Django, all that.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, see, I was thinking about some things further back.
Like with
but we young, but we are young though.
I think I think for me though, I think things that have become classics, when I think they're classics and they are held as classics, then I feel like, oh, okay. Because like Kill Bill, I thought that was masterful.
Y'all watch
you
that
have
all the
not
time.
seen Kill Bill?
Oh, it's really good.
It is.
Now I do like Kill Bill. And it's 1 and 2. Is it Kill Bill?
3.
It's 3.
Yeah. 3.
It's really good.
Now, Princeton, because we got to talk about this stuff.
I know we got to talk about these movies. Yeah.
Because again, when I watch, even though I don't have your expertise, and did I say I was a drama student? I was in.
You were?
Yeah. 7th, 8th grade. I was totally, and I mean, I was the leading character.
Today? If would you be in this thing on June 5th?
You know what?
Gives you a piece.
You know what? I am living at 55, determined to express every version of myself, every expression to let that come to the center.
That is awesome.
And so, 7th and 8th grade, Miss Kaufman, I was her student, and I was in the leading role, and I cussed on stage. I was in this. No, everybody just corrected. But I cussed on stage one time because I was caught up. I lost myself.
This is Harper.
That's how involved I was. I didn't take home ec. I didn't take any of that. I took drama.
I bet that was cool.
I loved it.
But you look like you could really, really be an amazing character in
Can
we write her into something for the June 5th?
He is so pushy.
I'm trying to see.
But I mean, we'll talk about it. Y'all wait. But no,
I definitely write it in some
after that.
Shortly after.
You see how he just
right. I love it. I love it. Because he don't want me to embarrass myself. But I think what you said is true. That it's what we're told early on, and no one told me that I couldn't be an actress. It's just once I left junior high, it was like, now what are you going to pursue as a career? And at that time, that's when they started doing the school. We called them magnet schools back then. That's when they started doing the specialized schools. So, and that wasn't a school for acting, a theater magnet. And I loved it every time I would go over there because we would go over there and watch plays and stuff like that. So, but
thinking
about what's realistic is where I went.
Yeah.
But no, I'm in my vein now. I am. But I love it. And when I watch movies. But when I watch movies, I watch with that eye of I like to pay attention to the cinematography, all of that good stuff.
The production design, everything.
All of it.
So we got one more.
So when we watch, wait, I gotta tell him this. I'm excited now. Y'all can tell. So when Bishop and I watch the Oscars, we're just as interested in the awards for cinematography and costume design, and that's why you're gonna love Bridgerton. Because Bridgerton has all of the costume. It's amazing.
I bet they won, though. I bet they won a lot of awards for the costumes.
I don't know, but they have all that. Okay, what question we got?
This question about the dry dating thing.
Oh, yeah, we got to ask you. We got 2 minutes.
Okay.
How's it going out there?
I wouldn't know. I'm sorry. I don't be dating or anything. Like, okay, but this is the thing. So to go back to my therapist, I was telling her about my therapist. So because we talked about that. She had a conversation. She was like, two things my therapist told me. She was like, I always hear you talking about your friends and how great they are, but you don't speak the same way about yourself. So we need to talk about that. Do you believe you're great? And I'm like, yeah, I do. She's like, okay, start vocalizing. It doesn't mean you're arrogant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just
right.
know who you are. And then she started to tell me, after I told her about my dating and my past relationships, and I was telling her, I think sometimes I have a source of PTSD around like breaking hearts, because I didn't do it intentionally, but I have in the past, maybe like 3, whatever.
You
But
were the heartbreaker.
I was, but I didn't cheat or nothing like that, because I'm monogamous. You know what I mean?
I gotta
But
talk to you. We gotta
I
come.
know.
Princeton has to come back.
I do have to come back. And she said that your reason, when we talked and delved a little bit into it, she was like, you're afraid for a relationship to go right.
So you
It knocked me
sabotaged
down.
the relationship
I just got out of it.
out of fear.
Yeah, I just got out of it.
Wow. We got to talk about that.
We do gotta talk
because
about
I was just having a conversation with someone who talked about why
Did he
they
get hot again?
why they cheat. Why they cheat.
it. Why they
And
cheat?
why they cheat.
Oh, I don't, I
And
think-
their cheating has to do with sabotaging the relationship.
You know what?
Out
And
of
I think people may not agree, but I think cheating is not the worst thing in a relationship. I think not being self-aware is.
Well, I
Because
think,
then, like, it's like if you verbally abusive and you don't think you are,
yeah,
you're gonna continue to be, so we can't grow.
right.
But if you're like, I'm verbally abusive, okay, these are the things I'm going to do to work on being verbally abusive,
Okay.
and then we're able to navigate it.
So,
Cheating is
like-
still bad. but
So
it-
like the reason I think cheating is bad, I think if you're not self-aware, you're cheating. You know,
Boom.
you're going
That's a
to
level of
and
cheating.
you're going to cheat
that's true.
because you're not
Mhm.
self-aware.
Mhm.
You're not aware when you're stepping over boundaries, when you're reaching for things and you don't even know why you're reaching for
That's
them.
so true.
But so yes to that. But I also think that we gotta just. I know I'm out of time. I'm out of time. I was getting ready to start up something else. So you got to come back because we got to talk about
that.
why is the pool dry? What is going on?
Because everybody says the same
everybody's
thing.
saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is that? And
It's
maybe
a constant thing, and it may be another self-reflection situation. You know what I mean? Like
and maybe it's a wonderful opportunity.
yes,
Maybe we're missing it. Maybe we're not approaching it as
that's true.
who's going to now be the influencer to move people back to
and
relationships.
inspire that, because I do
Inspire
want
that.
kid. You know what I'm saying? I do possibly want a child, but marriage thing. Look at this.
So we got to talk about that. All right. Will you promise to come back and
I
we'll
promise.
talk
I would
about
love to come back.
And will you promise to one day invite me to be a part of something? I'll be a
promise that.
walk on and walk off.
No. I promise. I would love to have you and Courtney a part. You know, Courtney is a part of this play. Did
No,
he tell y'all?
you didn't tell us.
Courtney,
What?
tell us.
Okay,
told y'all I was
we got to go, but tell us, please tell us.
Yeah, so we're doing a gospel theater experience. I've never done anything like this before. A lot of my work is faith-based,
Uh-huh.
but I wanted to do something specifically
Okay.
in the gospel realm. So it's basically a compilation of vignettes that I wrote
Mm-hmm.
and some experiences, and it's like comedy and drama and a lot of great music. So we got Courtney Richardson, who is an amazing singer.
Okay.
And then we got who else? Sharisi Mackey.
Mhm.
We got
Wow.
Sherry Mackey. What you about to say?
Julian Cross.
Julian Cross,
Shay
who's
Brianna.
incredible. Shay
He
Brianna
is,
of
he
Shaw.
is.
See, Andrea knew some shit.
Okay. And when is it? When is it? Oh, I love her.
Pope.
I love
Dara Pettis is in it.
When
Marcus
is it?
Newsom.
When is it?
It's gonna be June 5th
Okay. June 5th.
at 6 p.m. And you go get your tickets at PrincetonJamesProductions.com.
And where is it going to be?
Abundant Grace Fellowship.
Yeah, Dwayne
right
Hunt.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dwayne Hunt
they
is
do some
amazing.
great things.
They
Pastor-
do. We
They
want to come
do.
on over
They
here
really
to do life,
do.
though, if y'all have a.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would love for you to do a dinner, the murder mystery
Oh, it's
dinner
done.
theater
It's
thing.
done.
I would love for you to do that
It's
here.
done. We can do
Okay.
it in the gym. It's happening. Just
Got
give us
it.
a date. and
Okay.
We're there. We'll block it in.
Oh, I love it.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm
I
excited
love
too.
that. I
Now,
love
this
it.
ain't for sister chicks.
Right. No,
Because
I
then
really,
the men can't come for that.
no, I would love. Well, it can't be for couples either. That would exclude me. Okay. All right. But yeah, I
I'll
love
hold
that.
the door open. Or
Yeah.
something. Oh, I'll be married. I'll be in a couple by then.
You hold it up.
Who
Be
did-
for
I
everybody.
don't see no
Courtney
faith in
is-
the room. Any faith in the
You
room?
don't feel no
I don't
faith.
feel no faith in the room. No way.
Ain't nobody praying. Somebody
Ain't nobody praying.
Ain't nobody believing God with you.
It's gonna be good. We would love to come.
Okay, we're gonna make that happen because I would love to do that. All right, you all, I'm out of time, but you know I'm never out of conversation. Tune in each Sunday evening here at 7 p.m. for Conversations with Linda. Listen, this has been wonderful. Get your tickets at Princeton James Productions for June 5th. It's going to be awesome. I'm gonna see you there because I think I'm gonna make it. I think I can make that. All right, good night.
Good night.